Today on Game Rant, Jason slashes his way back into games. Even more Xbox exclusives could be heading to the PlayStation 5, and Baldur's Gate 3 just got even bigger for console players. All this and more. One of the most iconic horror franchises of the past 50 years, Friday the 13th has enjoyed multiple adaptations, including video games. But as of late, there's been a lack of Jason Voorhees on console and PC since the previous game and online multiplayer experience closed its servers last year. But according to Friday the 13th's Robbie Bohemian, is shared by entertainment news outlet Bloody Disgusting, we won't have to wait too long. Recently, during a San Diego Comic-Con, he stated,
"I can tell you that a new sequel movie, a new sequel game are at the top of our list. It's where most of our energy is going right now. And I can tell you finally we're in a position to deliver on that. And so while we're not officially announcing with our partners today, both are coming. So they're both in the works.
It's unclear if this latest video game will be related to the newest film project, and with no genre or development team named, the only information we can confirm from this brief clip is the newest Friday the 13th game will be a sequel. The previous game, released in 2017, featured asynchronous horror gameplay with players attempting to survive against a single player taking on the role of Jason, snuffing out the campers one by one. What would you want to see in the next Friday the 13th game? A crossover with Elm Street? A return to space with Jason X? Chat back in the comments below. Following 2 decades of fierce market competition, recently Microsoft and Sony have entered a new phase of the console wars, with previous Xbox exclusives now arriving on the PlayStation 5 through Microsoft publishers. And according to a report from MP First, 2 major games will be arriving in the near future. According to a 2024 job listing on Microsoft's official board, developer The Coalition was seeking a senior online client engineer with experience on game network platforms such as Xbox, Steam, as well as PlayStation Network, while stating, quote, "As part of the Coalition's online team, you'll be working on Gears of War E-Day, the next mainline entry in the Gears of War franchise," end quote. This is notable because E-Day has yet to release, showing Microsoft potentially wrapping up launch parity for all platforms. In the same report, MP First highlights the resume of an Undead Labs developer, which lists their current work experience on State of Decay 3 on the PC and Xbox versions, as well as a currently unannounced PlayStation 5 version. While this is far from confirmation, this would correlate with the recent rumors of undisclosed layoffs taking place at Undead Labs following company-wide reductions at parent owner Microsoft. State of Decay 3 was first announced in 2020, only a couple of years after State of Decay 2 launched, but since then has been relatively quiet. Of course, it should be noted Microsoft has not confirmed any of these conclusions. How would you feel about Gears of War coming to the PlayStation 5? How about State of Decay 3? Chat back in the comments below. In related news, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella recently published an open letter to employees which in part addressed the widespread layoffs. Quote, "What we've learned over the past 5 decades is that success is not about longevity, it's about relevance. Our future won't be defined by what we've built before, but by what we empower others to build now." End quote. This follows the recent announcement by Matt Booty, the head of Xbox Game Studios, that the long-in-development Perfect Dark reboot would not only be cancelled, the blockbuster developer The Initiative would be shuttered before releasing a single project, despite several years of active development, as well as developer Rare ending production on Everwild over 5 years after its first announcement, in addition to other Microsoft and Xbox departments seeing layoffs, as well as a progressive change in focus from exclusively supporting their own brands of consoles to expanding to competitors Sony and Nintendo, while maintaining their console and game service Xbox Game Pass. Do you agree with Mr. Nadella's sentiment? Chat back in the comments below. Last month, developer Slow Clap released their latest game, Rematch, an arcade-style soccer game which controls more like a third-person shooter than a sports game. And in a blog update, Slow Clap developer explained their philosophy is in combining traditionally unrelated elements and how this shapes several new features still coming soon. Quote, "Sifu is not just a kung fu game, and Rematch is not just a football game. In a way, it's a samurai game. Interactions between players are swift, decisive, and can turn the tide of events in an instant. As such, for the game to feel fair and be fun, our execution must be flawless. And we're not quite there yet." End quote. According to the post, players will receive the heavily requested crossplay feature, allowing users on different consoles and PC platforms to play together, as well as colorblind accessibility options, player reporting, improvements to mouse and keyboard controls, and the ability to remap gamepad input. inputs. We've got much news in far fewer time. Let's call it a quick news blast. Developer Lindsay is attempting to make good following the widely criticized launch of Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers on PC. Deluxe Edition owners will receive the game's soundtrack, 4 new weapons, and 3 premium costumes at no extra cost, while standard owners will receive 3 pieces of headgear as well as the soundtrack. Superman director James Gunn has announced a new Fortnite crossover, and yes, that's Jim Lee.
One more thing, Jim. Peacemaker is going to be available in the Fortnite store, so people will be able to...
YouTuber and speedrunner Storster has quite the challenge ahead of her with the stated goal of beating every single Wii game ever released, a platform with over 1,600 unique titles. Good luck! And finally, Baldur's Gate 3 console players can now utilize multiple mods in the RPG's latest update. Much like the PC version, users can subscribe and experience customized tweaks created by other players. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video, but we'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, why not check out Will Hink's latest video on the best games on Xbox Game Pass for the month of July. Keep clicking around here at Game Rant, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.